The mission of a local nonprofit is to provide leadership, direction, and integrated resource management for quality services that support their vision of success for children. Coming up on Polk Place, we'll talk with a parent that leaves her children to the Early Learning Coalition of Polk County. Make sure you stick around. Welcome to Polk Place. I'm your host, Brian Lacey, and joining me in studio is Angel Barnes. Angel Barnes is a registered nurse for Nurse Ed 101 LLC. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Now, first off, got to tell folks you are a hero because during the pandemic, you've been on the front lines of this, and from not only me but everyone in the Polk County community, I want to thank you for what you've done for this community, not only as a registered nurse but also in educating new nurses.
Yes, thank you so much. Thank you.
So during the COVID-19 pandemic, not only we talked a little bit about what you've been doing in education and being on the front lines, but you've also been a parent and doing the parent thing.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about what it was like to juggle both, if you would.
Well, I will say it was quite difficult to do that because my desire was really to stay home and be with my kids, but I couldn't. And so being able to work and also still have the ability to take my kids to the daycare facility was an immense blessing. And it was through the partnership of Richardson's Learning Enrichment Center that enabled me to do so. They provided the childcare for both of my kids during that time. I felt comforted knowing that they were in a safe place. That Learning Center definitely took a lot of precautions around COVID measures, cleaning properly, and they had a COVID-19 exposure plan and increased their screening and increased communication to the parents about how they were handling the COVID pandemic in their facility. So that definitely gave me reassurance and some comfort knowing that I could leave them and go and work and train other nurses and other community members during that time. So yeah, it was quite a juggle, but I made it work, and thanks to Richardson's Learning Enrichment Center.
I want you to talk about the quality of child care that you get for your boys. And you know, we already know the steps that they're taking to make sure that the children and families are safe, not only while they're there, but going home to you safe. Talk to me about the education process, what it means to you as a parent, and knowing that the Early Learning Coalition of Polk County is behind them.
Oh, it means the world to me. Richardson, they are definitely cutting edge. They provide a very good curriculum for my boys, particularly the preschooler who is there. He's getting the curriculum that really supports his development, communication, thinking skills there. I am confident that the Early Learning Coalition is behind them, supporting with that effort. I'm really happy with what the results there. My boys are thriving and growing, and it's a good thing.
Now, one of the things that we talked about before the interview, you came across the ELC Polk in a unique way. Let's talk a little bit about how you found them and they found you, and it was beneficial to both.
So actually I was pulling up one morning and dropping the kids off, and I was met at the door by Natasha Richardson, who's the director, and she handed me a flyer and she's like, the Early Learning Coalition is sponsoring Healthcare Heroes and providing money, grant money, to cover for daycare. And I thought, I don't think I'm going to qualify for that. And she said, no, just give them a call. So I said, you know what, I would explore more. I called the Early Learning Coalition, and I was met with very receptive, very personable team members who kind of walked me through the steps. I did the application, and I was approved. It was very seamless, and I was really amazed that I was approved and received 3 months of daycare services for my boys.
And being an RN
Yes.
During this, talk about the importance of what that means to you. You know, not only is it a way of thanking you, but it also kind of helps you a lot too.
Oh, yes.
Talk about that if you would,
Definitely.
please.
Oh, my word. I will tell you that I was very astonished to receive that money, and it did help to put back money into my home. It allowed me to take that money and actually reinvest it into PPE, hand sanitizer, more food for the home. It just gave me the option to do more with it, and I tell you, it was a true thank you. Like, I am so grateful, and I could not begin to thank them. So thank you is not enough.
And keeping in mind that ELC Polk received these from the state and distributed them, so amongst theirs. And what better way to say thank you to somebody on the front lines?
Yes.
From a parenting standpoint, how has COVID-19 changed how and what you do as a parent?
Well, that's a loaded question. Well, the first thing that comes to mind is my appreciation for all daycare teachers, daycare providers, teachers. I mean, they are appreciated immensely. That has increased my appreciation for them. There was a time when I was actually considering or attempting to do the online learning with both boys. Oh, it was a tragedy. I will say that the patience, having worked during the day and trying to do that in the evenings and manage and juggle all that, oh my goodness. So I appreciate all of the the daycare providers, all of the teachers. I've grown immensely for that. And I'm a teacher myself. I'm a nurse and educator, so I do understand that side of it. But this side, dealing with little people, and I just appreciate their level of patience and their desire to work with our kids, and yeah, I've grown that appreciation.
Yeah, I get phone calls. My grandson's at home. He's 10 years old. He's doing the whole homeschooling thing. He'll call me with a problem. I just look like, you should ask your mother.
Yes.
As I tell him, I'm not a great role model for impressionable youth.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, call mom and ask her, because she, we pull out his transcripts even from college. And
Oh my goodness. Oh wow.
well, I want you to talk a little bit about, if you could, inspire other parents to trust, to believe, to try out Early Learning Coalition programs, if you would.
Oh yes. I highly recommend parents who are considering going through the Early Learning Coalition for services, and I highly recommend. I think it's a great program for those who are exploring or thinking or considering putting their kids into a daycare setting. The Early Learning Coalition will help them walk through those steps and that process. I say go for it.
I'm going to give you the last word on this. We have just a few minutes left. What I'd like you to do is, if you'd like to thank anybody, if you'd like to inspire others, I'll give you the last word on this. What would you like to tell the folks at home?
Well, number one, I'm going to say thank you so much to the Early Learning Coalition. Thank you so much for bridging the gap and providing that funding during that time. It was much appreciated. I want to thank specifically Belinda Kramer, who was so awesome that I worked with. She was amazing in getting me here today to even just share this good news with all the parents. I want to thank Natasha Richardson, who is the director of Richardson Learning Enrichment Center. She's been absolutely amazing, comforting, allowing me to leave my kids and feel okay inside, that they are taken care of, well taken care of. And I'd like to thank you for having me today.
In all honesty, this was the easiest part of it, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was easy. I can give all the thanks to everybody. And also to my healthcare heroes, my fellow nurses, my fellow doctors and CNAs, LPNs, all of the nursing ancillary, all of the support folks that are out there on the front lines still fighting the good fight. My hat is off to you. I salute you. I know what it is and how tough it is, especially if you have children, to leave them to go and support and take care of others who really need you. So my hat is off to you, and I salute you for that.
Well, Angel, from me and from a grateful Polk County community, I want to thank you for everything that you've done and continue to do, and hopefully we'll see you again, all right?
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
The Early Learning Coalition of Polk County wants you to know that the quality of early education and care significantly influences academic and social development. Their vision is that all children enter school healthy, ready, and eager for lifelong learning with the collaborative support of parents, families, educators, and the community. As the coalition continues to serve the children and families of Polk County, the next generation is given the opportunity to develop the skills they will need to be successful in the future. Now, if you need more information, give the ELC Polk a call at 863-733-9064 or look them up on the web at www.elcpolk.org.